have an alert on the north side of the dirt. It's your man D-Real. I told you we was going to be coming with the Friday vibe, and we was not going to be by ourselves. This evening, I wrote it down so that if I, anyway, I'm going to just say Marvel comics writer, DC comics writer. Well, no. Have done work for.
No, not yet. Not with Marvel.
Okay. But see, that's why you asked. DC, right?
Start over.
Okay. Introduce DC comics writer, independent comics writer, children's book writer, comic book convention guest, parent, Georgia native.
Not native.
One and only. Well,
but I live here. I've been here a minute, so.
And we gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about your roots and stuff and things that have caught my attention. Greg Burnham, y'all. The folks in the chat, they've been in my DMs about this, and so here I am, and I made a promise on Faith, and see what Faith do. You know what I'm saying? Look at God. Look at God.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Good.
We here now. What? Let me get right to it.
Okay. Did he freeze?
No, Daryl, you ain't Daryl. Don't do that. Daryl, don't do that. Don't do that, Daryl. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you got to swing on the internet, dude. You said we weren't gonna do this evening, but I'm here. I guess he did, but me and you, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll pop back in because
I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do as a co-host, I guess. We got you in here though.
Yeah,
DC Power.
Yeah.
2024. I'm like I said, this is my first time. Mr. Terrific, fair play. You wrote this.
Yeah.
Tell us about how this came about. How did this come about?
So I got the like the email, the call, I guess, to ask me, could I do it? Would I do it? And I'm like, sure. But I had no idea like what I was gonna do at the time. So it just really, it kind of just stemmed. I have stories in my brain that just circle around. I see like current issues. So there is like a current issue in Atlanta, kind of adjacent to what's happening in the book. Right. And so, yeah, I teamed up. So Marquise Draper was the editor.
Okay.
He's the one that recruited me on. And so me and him, I kind of came up with the frame for it. And then he and I just fine-tuned it over the next, few weeks.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm back. Okay.
Big Bro holding it down. Big Bro.
Yeah, my own Wi-Fi conspires to defeat me.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Big Bro, what I asked him was in regards to his story, Mr. Terrific, how did this come about? In regards, how did his role come about? In regards to writing the story for Mr. Terrific. Mr. Burnham was relating it to us that it does. He has many stories here, but this story in particular was revolving around a matter in Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, did I get it right? Summarize it right?
It's adjacent. Of course, it's fictional world, so it's like I just kind of found like the cause for the story based off of some stuff that's happening here. And, like I said, Marquise Draper was the editor. And like, once I came with the initial pitch, so to speak, he, me and him like crafted it and fine tuned it from there.
I know what I wanted to ask. Did you pattern the mayor after LeBron James?
No, I didn't.
But he looks very much. Am I tripping? He looks very much like LeBron James.
No, I mean, I gave the artist character reference actually off of somebody that I knew, and I'm looking at it now, and he made it look like the guy that I was trying to make him look like. So I never even thought like LeBron James out of this, but you know.
That's how it looked to me. And so with that story, do you feel like you could build more off of it? Because I feel like, you know, the way it ended, I know it was just short, first of all, but then the way it ended, you know, it was still kind of open ended. That like maybe if you wanted to create sort of a Stag Holt rivalry, you know, behind the, you know, CEO board and, you know, on the streets and, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. So everything you do, like I do, is kind of like that, where it could lead to more if they wanted to. There's already a rivalry with the two of them. So it's like it was when I was trying to find, you know, it's like I'm trying not to spoil everything, but when I was trying to find the like the villain of the story, so to speak, it was like when we both were like, what about Sebastian Stagg? Because that fits, it kind of fits into some stuff that happened earlier, like before, you know, in the books. So yeah, it's definitely, I always try to write it to where you leave a little door open, but of course it's not my call. It's like, if you know, they have like a huge slate of stuff, and it's you know, just like any comic book company, it's like planned out for like the year already. So it's like if they wanted to put some additional money into it, that'll be cool. But I think also
no, go ahead.
I said, I think also like, so what we have to understand, it's weird for us, you know, when I say that, I'm talking about like Black people, you know, people of color that are writing and creating these stories. Like I like with the Superman story, I was getting like all these people at shows, people just come up to me and they're like, yo, that was a great story, blah blah blah. It's like, y'all need to tell them.
Hey,
Because if you tell them, you know, like, then that might prompt them to be like, okay, it's just like anything, you know. If you're like with movies, if we go see the movies and they're like, oh, okay, people actually want to see this. So
If I could, Mr. Burner, because you raised an interesting point with that in regards to fans, comic book fans, you need to tell them. My question to you, and I'm just asking here because I'm on the outside looking in. Does the editorial departments, do they take stock in what the fans request in making comic book decisions?
oh, absolutely. But like, so you got to look at like the chief editors who everybody reports to, you know, they usually have like a vision of what they're trying to put out. But when they take chances on certain characters and you get like a really big response off of that book or something, then obviously, because it's a money making business. I got to being part of the Milestone Initiative, we got to really go there and see. They gave, you know, explained like step by step how they're making comics. And as somebody who makes independent comics with like a little skeleton crew, you know,
Right.
it's like you know, my brain was blown at, you know, the amount that goes into it. So the amount of money that goes into it, time, effort, people's reputations on the line, like all these things. So it's like at the end of the day, you know, they're not gonna cross out anything that's making money.
Okay, well, let's stay right there. I like that. You had the opportunity, like I said, definitely loving it, to do the DC Power. Mr. Terrific, I think myself, D-Real included, Rock With Me Nation, is an underutilized character, definitely has a lot of potential. During a recent story arc, I think it was the Waller War, Amanda Waller War, there
Mhm.
was Beast World. there was a hint of a panel, and Mr. Ray Smith would love this part here, where they had like a group of Black superheroes. Is this something that has been mentioned? Do you know of? Are you aware of? Is this something that has been talked about at DC?
That book is out. Like,
right.
Yeah. So again, I think it comes down to like, because Chuck Brown wrote it. Chuck Brown is super dope, by the way. If y'all, and so it's that thing. Like when they put the books out, it's like, just like anything in business, you're gonna gauge and see, what the reactions are. So with all of that, I think that was fitting into like a larger event kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess the short of it, and I can't speak for DC because I technically don't work for DC. I'm like an independent contractor, but I just say overall, with anybody, like anything, if you put the book out and people are going crazy about it on the internet, then you're good. What I've learned, and you guys probably see this as well, is that most of the time the stuff that goes crazy on the internet is when people don't like something. So like when they did the what if Miles Morales and the dude, tried to blend the Hood and Thor, and it was embarrassing, and people will go and they'll complain forever about it. But then it's like, if you write something beautifully, where's my book? Dang it, I usually have my props up here, but there's like stuff people are doing that, like L.L. McKinney wrote that Nubia graphic novel, and it was beautiful, and people don't share that as much, but
no, they don't.
They find a line. Somebody wrote one line that they think is pandering or extra hood, then the internet's gonna blow up for a week.
That is a true. Yes, that is a true.
That's a true statement. Yes, it is. That's true for way too many reasons.
So, on to your other work.
Mm-hmm.
This right here.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah. I thought you might recognize that on a whim. When we gonna get some more of that?
Actually, there's something that's being worked on right now. I'm a little mad because it doesn't look like I'm gonna hit the self-imposed deadline, but you should be hearing about some stuff coming pretty soon.
Okay. Is it going to be something separate on to itself, or is it going to continue from the previous story?
Well, so this one, I can't tell you the names yet because we haven't revealed some of the names we got helping us out, but we've teased it and talked about it for a while, like a timeline series. What happens is, it's like we start off and we're like, okay, this book needs to be 30 pages, let's say. Usually our books are around 30. So we have like this huge story that we want to fit in there, but you just can't always fit everything in. So we talked about this doing a series we call Timelines, where we'll take like in this book, there's going to be like 3 short comics. Like one's 8 pages, one is 6 pages, and the other might be like 8 to 10. So we'll put all 3 of those like short stories and kind of package. So like in book 1, when Genesis, gets shot out the air, we show her, heading towards a crash, but we don't, the next time you see her, she's back, what I'm saying? Like, and we don't explain what happened. So in here, we're going to explain what happened. We have another story where Gina, our mechanic, like she hasn't really got much, face time. And so it looks like she's just kind of a one-off character right now, but she's really part of the team. She just has a different job. And so we're gonna she has like a 6-page comic that's gonna like let you get to know her, let you get to see her capabilities. She's not just walking around with a ratchet. You know what I mean?
Okay. And you know what? I always wondered that. What else does she do? We don't get to see enough of her to determine what else she does beyond.
I'm liking that. I'm liking that fleshing
Yeah,
out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna see. It's dope. We got so with that one, I'll say some of the names. I'm gonna keep the cover artist right now off, but Venus Bambisa, it's from South Africa, and they did the art. They did the colors too. Really did a great job. And then I got my man Peterson Oliveira from the he was with me on the Milestone Initiative, and so he did I have a Colonel Mars flashback story and it actually has some stuff in it that leads up to, that's going to kind of like drop breadcrumbs for where we are today. So got that story.
So we gonna see a young Colonel Mars.
Yeah, so we showed a little bit of young Colonel Mars in issue 4, and people so when we're coming up with this, like,
you messing with him, D. Like I can see it in he like, man, I want him, but I can't, man. I want to say it. I see it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out, how to. The main thing is, like, when we came up with the whole story, it's like, I'm building this world and everything, and then I'm like, my mind is like drifting like to what was Colonel Mars like, and so you have to write that backstory. So it's like we want to leak some of that out. Like I said, we put him in issue 4. There's a few pages of him as a younger person, and like our fans was like going crazy, especially the ladies. The ladies seem to love Colonel Mars. So
hey, the dude with the gray on the sides, and
man.
He's that dude. He's that dude.
I got a question for you, Mr. Burnham.
What's up?
Because I'm, to hear you talk about your work and everything like that, and just to see the excitement it basically exude from you. Myself, I'm recently new into the game of comic book reviews. A long-time comic book fan. That's how I learned how to read. My question to you, I asked a similar question. I'm finna low-key be petty. And D-Real gonna laugh when I say it. So I asked the question some Saturdays ago in regards to what we could do. I said what we could do in regards to raising the awareness of Black representation and Black imagery. Got a lot of feedback. But I'm asking the question because, like I said, I'm loving the excitement is just coming off of you. What I want to know is, what could we do as an overall collective, from yourself as a writer to us as comic book reviewers to us as comic book fans, to grow the awareness of writers such as yourself? Because I want y'all to get to shine. I want y'all to get the love, to have the opportunities, from animation to action figures, because that's what pushes the imagery in regards to y'all, the visibility of y'all being out there and everything. What are some ideas that you think we could do as a collective to grow?
So some of it, like, I'm actively doing, like, me and my homeboy, we're throwing a convention in Norfolk, Virginia in August. And we're going to be highlighting a lot of Black creators and Black people in the space as a whole. It's the convention is for everybody, but we're making a point to kind of, definitely shine a light on the creators. Like, buying people's stuff is huge. If you don't know where to get indie comics, somebody that might. And so, like, when people are buying our comics, it's allowing us to be able to continue making them. Where, like, the major companies, they can afford to, like, put out a title and it not sell well, and they can just move on to the next thing. Whereas us, it's like, we have to really, we need that, that first person support, right? So if you see, you know, artists online, sharing their stuff is always good, but the algorithms have made it such to where if you're sharing other, you know, other people's stuff that might lead people off of this app, then they're going to kind of mute what you do. So you still do it, but like what I do, and I do this with mainstream comics, with indie comics, everything. Like I'm gonna flash this right here. This right here. Like this Duke story, like so recently Image got control of G.I. Joe, Transformers. They're putting them all in the same universe. And these stories have been crazy, especially for me, you know, a G.I. Joe and Transformers fan. And so when this came out, I bought like 3 copies because I'm keeping one for myself to read, one more for myself to put in my box.
Hold on.
And then I bought one for my brother.
Me and Darryl do it a little bit different here. I got to call the timeout now. You say you're a G.I. Joe fan because me and Darryl don't just do comic books now. We don't just do comic books. No, good to God, you see what's behind me. We won't just do that. So you brought out the Duke comic book. I'm gonna interrupt you a little bit, then I'm gonna come back to what you said. You got the Duke action figure.
Come on, man.
Okay.
I got.
Yeah.
That was not planned, people out there. This is real life. I'm collecting like the classifieds right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen. Segue. I said that because when I asked the question earlier, that's one of the other things.
I got older ones.
Yes,
action
sir.
figures of the Tuskegee heirs, action figures and stuff like that. So, I see y'all representing. I see y'all. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. That's all right. Valorverse gonna pull up in a few weeks. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that was one of the reasons why I asked the question earlier, like action figures for your characters and everything like that. Because I think that's me personally. I think stuff like that would go a long way right now. And shout out to my brother Darryl. He's got me with Harriet Tubman. Back in the month, he had me with Bitter Root. He's told me about Tuskegee heirs, but I run into the situation that some of us do, the comic book store not carrying. So, you know, but if I had action figures, man, they would just be out there. So, is there go ahead, I'm sorry.
So we've tooled around with it. We're working on some animation stuff right now. But the key with it is, unless you get like a distribution deal, action figures are tough. And right now, like I feel like we have a pretty popular brand. So that, you know, we probably could sell some, but it's like it's a big investment. Until you get to the point where you can maybe get like 3D on demand type stuff going. But it's a big investment, and you know, like I'm not saying we're flying by the seat of our pants or anything, but the pandemic was a real thing, and so it kind of altered the way that we do business, like some of the chances that we got to take. So it's like, you know, one day. But in order to get a distribution deal, because we've had talks with companies, but like they like to see a larger. We have a good size following, but they like to see, you know, because it's all about investment. Like, am I going to invest this money in you and then not be able to sell these? And believe it or not, action figures and toys as a whole are kind of down, like way down since when we were kids. There's actually more adults like us buying this stuff because kids aren't playing with it the same. So, you know, it's kind of like baby steps. We take our time, and then when we're able to thrive in that space, we jump in.
Well, some folks beg to differ in the comments. See, they said ski gears and fly off the shelf. Oh, it'll be
No,
us. It'll be us
I,
making it fly off the shelf.
That's
no,
absolutely
but
be the
I
goal.
believe it because we see what we do. So we're not in all comic shops. That's by choice, because we can make individual deals with comic, shops. That's what we do. So in Atlanta, some other, different places across the United States, we deal directly with the shop.
Right.
I'm not opposed to like what Diamond does or some of the distributors, but it's like as a small company, like if you order my books online, I'm gonna ship them right out to you. We're gonna get you squared away, but then that money goes directly towards us running our business. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are working with distributors, you're selling your books at like a wholesale rate, and then there's gonna be a like a percentage that the distributor has to get off of it. So, what you want to be able to do when you get with a distributor is move like a lot of copies. I can deal directly because we've been for 7 years. We'll have shops that come up and they'll order or they'll email or whatever. They order, we work it out between each other. I got shops, Challenges, Games and Comics. They've sold thousands of copies of Tuskegee Years. They're in Atlanta. It's a Black-owned comic shop. And like he's smart enough because a lot of people they'll order, like they might order one run and then sell out of those and then never say nothing else. Tony over there, he just keeps re-upping. Amalgam Comics in Philly before it closed down, they had sold thousands because they understood it too. So the books fly off the shelves. The toys probably will, but it's that game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That you have to kind of juggle.
You know what I wanted to ask you? How does it feel to see somebody cosplay as a character you created?
It doesn't feel like it doesn't matter how many times I see it. I just be like blanked out. There's a young lady. I think at the time she was like 9 years old. She cosplays tons of stuff, like at every, like all these different shows. And so we're
She's
friends.
A professional.
Yes. We're friends. Whenever I see her, it's like we're giving high fives. They come hang out at our table. It's all love. So we're at BlurredCon. She comes up and she's like standing there talking to me. And I'm like high-fiving her and just talking like I normally do. And my friend who happened to be sitting down chilling at the table, she like elbows me really hard. And I'm like, what'd she do that for? And she's like, look, stupid. And I that was the first time I've been talking to this little girl for 2 minutes. And then it's like, you zoomed out and I'm like, she was cosplaying Gina from Tuskegee Years. It's like, I didn't even, and it was, and the cosplay was great. It was just that it's like you blank out. It's
you don't come across, just listening to you and everything like that and observing your mannerisms. You don't come across as that person that's like full of themselves, like, hey, I love what I do. I love that I'm able to do it and I'm doing it for the culture, for the people. And you just take your enjoyment, your satisfaction from that. So you're oblivious. Seems like you wouldn't be in that space where you're taking notice of it. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, sometimes you see it, it's just, it doesn't feel real. And I thank you for what you said. But it's like the first time I saw Michael Jordan, it's like, this ain't really real. I'm like having to convince myself that's him. That's him. The first time I saw Kobe, like it's that kind of thing. So, you're flattered. I mean, we're kids. Like if you see me light up, that's because I get to be a kid.
Like I'm seeing like that energy, that energy, and it's a positive energy too. Like I'm gonna say pause. I'm loving the hell out of that. You know what I'm saying? Just because You're not the frown and the it's like, no, man, I like doing this. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Some of my, like, because we have like professional cosplayers that, you know, cosplay our stuff, like really high level, and it's amazing every time. But then I think we were at this one show in North Carolina. I can't remember where it was. I think it was in Durham. And this lady, she comes in with her son, and he's like 8 or 9. He doesn't really know a lot about comics, but he's looking, and so she ends up buying the books. And so the next day he comes, he has like a little bubble vest. He has a little hat to the back. He took his swimming goggles and put them up here. You know, he brought a super soaker, and he's like, you know, his mom's like, he loves Slip. He wants to be Slip. You know what I'm saying? So he's, you know, and that was me. That was me and my brother and my cousins. Like when we were kids, that was what we did all the time. Make up our own, you know. I have a bathrobe. You can't tell me I'm not Luke Skywalker, you know. Like,
I love that. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. One of the things that I do here is when kids come over and everything like that, my daughter's friends, I say, hey, I ask me, y'all Black Panther fans. I don't really care what their response is. You watch cartoons, superheroes, MCU, I don't really care. As long as you give me one of them answers. And to bring them into the room and see their face go from whatever it was before to like, oh wow, it's like, listen, what I forget what's up. How do I want to put this? Your content creator is insulting for you, but inspirational, putting a smile, changing the next generation, changing the narrative and everything like that. I don't want to say influencer because I definitely feel like there's a more adept description to you than that. But yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving that, man. I gotta see what I can do to get this daggone book. You have to talk to somebody. That's what this happen.
I mean, we have them on the website, so it's an easy find. And I wanted to talk to that just a little because that was part of our mission, you know, like with me and Marcus, my co-creator, like we've been working together for a long time. I know I showed Daryl this before. This was like a book we made in, you know, like 2000 or something. It's really raggedy, but there's still a few copies coming around. But this has always been what we, you know, since we teamed up, this is what we set out to do. Marcus hates when I show this because he's like, I got so much better since then. I'm like, yeah, but you was cool back then. So, you know, but yeah, like that's our thing is like, not, you know, just dropping this in the bucket. Like I've seen it with my own kids. They've been their whole lives, they've been around a guy that, you know, their father who makes content for Black people. So like them, when they see this stuff, it's not a big deal. And that's what you want it to be, right? Like we'll still get people that'll come up at a show and be like, man, I didn't know Black people were making comics. I'm like, we're everywhere. Like we're literally everywhere. So yeah, we make comics and we can do it at a high level too. So
yeah. Who are some of your contemporaries that you dig?
Contemporaries. So Newton Lillavois. He does a book called Crescent City Monsters. And he also has another one called Keisha the Demon Eater. Yeah, it's all kind of like the same universe. So he's building some really great stuff. So I'm gonna name like indie people, like Greg Anderson Ellisay. He writes a book called Isnana the Were Spider. He's also got a few other a lot of other dope stuff. He's the homie. Like me and him, we're talking about getting together to work on something. But I'm a huge fan of his. He's a writer. Both of these guys are writers. I'm a huge fan of both of them. Jason Reeves, he has 133 Art. Jason is he's one of the most humble, nicest guys that you'll meet, but he's a pillar in the indie comic space. He has his own, besides his own publishing, where he does his own books, he also prints, like for a lot of people, prints and distributes for them. So say like if you want to do a Kickstarter, you can basically send him the files, he'll print them, get them shipped out for you.
Oh, wow.
He's making
that is very good info.
Yeah, he's making it, really easy for a lot of people. And besides that, dang it, I don't have it with me. He's doing a cover. He did a cover for our next Solace book, the book I'm doing with my brother. He's also a phenomenal artist. Me and him, we got some stuff together that we're pitching right now. And then he just recently did a Spider-Man children's book for Scholastic, I believe. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of children's books,
you do have one.
Swim, Kelly, Swim.
Yes.
Tell us, we wasn't going to let you get away without you plugging Swim, Kelly, Swim.
I was trying to see if I have it over here. I do not. It's the
I ordered one. Mine's on the way.
Okay. Yeah, we just put them on Amazon. It's a story. So my brother his name is Kelly, and when he was little, I taught him how to swim like when he was really, really little. So I think he was like 5 or 6. I always forget what year this was.
Wow.
But we're at the pool on the Air Force Base, and I hear these whistles going off, and I look up, and he's standing on top of the high dive. The high dive was like 15, 20 feet. I don't remember how many feet, but it's a lot of feet.
It's high.
And
they're
like
5?
He may have been 6.
Wow.
Mind you, like this dude, when he was early 5, years old, we had him swimming in the deep end, like, he was a beast. It's that thing when you have that brother, he's way younger than me, but it was like he wanted to do everything I could do, so he wasn't afraid of anything. He'd be like, yeah, I want to do that. So they made him get down, and the rule at the pool was, in order for you to jump off the diving boards, you got to be able to swim the width of the pool in the deep end, in the 10 feet. And so the lifeguards was like, he can't jump unless he does that. And we're like, okay. And so I asked him, could I swim beside him, just in case, he got tired or something. They said, yeah. So we swam across the pool. People was cheering, screaming for him, like clapping. It was a really fun moment. And so I just kind of turned that into a children's book. Added so the way it's written, people are entertained by it, but then there's also like little tips. I didn't want to come off like Professor Swim, like, and then you channel your kinetic energy. I ain't do all of that. I'm gonna say like little, like small little tips that, that basically build up into like the tips of, like basic tips of swimming. The mind state behind it is to like demystify swimming for Black people as a whole. I have parents that are like, man, I need this book. I needed this book as much for myself as I did for the babies. Because, it's just like, if you're 30 years old and that's the first time you see somebody ride a bike, you're gonna be like, how the hell are you doing that? It's way harder to figure, to like train your brain to do stuff the older you get. So it's kind of that thing, like teaching the basics to let you know that anybody, can do, like most people that are able, can, be a good swimmer. So that's where it stems from. I'm super happy.
People, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm like super happy at the response. We're gonna be launching some other stuff, like a book trailer and some other promotional stuff soon. So.
Okay. Yeah, what I was gonna say was I was one of those people. I learned to swim till I was an adult.
Mm.
And I didn't have no choice because I went in the Navy, and I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, okay, you gonna have to learn how to swim before you actually, because the odds of you being on a boat are pretty good. So
pretty high, yeah.
Yeah, so you might, and see, I got lucky though, because the Navy's thing is you don't actually have to know how to swim. You have to know how to float.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can float for like, I think it was like something like 5 minutes or something like that. And it was kind of it's kind of the same thing. Rather than have to swim the length of the pool, you have to swim the width of the pool.
Being from a department of the Navy, I don't necessarily like that, because I actually think we're better than y'all, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
Here you go.
Being a Marine, I can tell you it was 5 minutes. It was 5. It's 5.
Okay. All right.
You went in before me. You went in before me, I think. When you went in and when? 86?
5. 85.
You joined 85, 87. You know what got me, Mr. Burnham? I didn't learn how to swim on top of the water until I got to be, because I was doing the whole man from Atlantis thing. I was good with them. And folks was like, he finna drown. No, he not finna drown. He good. That's how he swim.
But did they think you were having a seizure?
Hey, listen, they was like, everybody jumping in the water and everything, pulling me up. I'm like, get off of me.
You know what I'm doing? I got this. I'm not gonna say I never experimented with the Atlantis.
I'm picturing the man from Atlantis, and I can see
that.
That ain't how you swim.
I'm not gonna say I never tried it, because I definitely tried it. But
it's effective. It's effective. You can actually get where you're going like that.
Yeah, it takes a while though.
It does. Yeah,
I can see that being a core workout.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's that high dive. That high. Yeah, it's high. It's high. It's high. Because they make up.
You know, I have grown friends with like healthy fears of heights.
You do. You looking at one.
So what is it with heights that scares you? Other than falling off of them.
Okay, hold on. I got you. No, I got you. I can help you out. So I'm 5 years old. Infant, if you will. Stay with my mother, New York, Bronx. The building next to us, it catches on fire. They call the fire department. Our building, it catches on fire. I'm a toddler. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a toddler. Fire dude come up. Ladder. We're on the 5th floor. Buddy come up. He to the window. Fire escape. Looks at my mom. He said, who you want? I can get him first. She said, go ahead and get him. He looks at me. Grab him. I'm looking at him. He looking at me. I'm looking at him. Look at me. He looking at me. Look at him. He say, you ready? I say, yeah. They got this thing. They don't really do it no more. They don't. But you old enough to know what I'm talking about. It's this inflatable thing. They used to have it back in the day. Dude, look at me. He said, I'm gonna drop you on the count of 5. I'm looking at him and I'm saying, I'm a kid. I am a whole behind kid. He says 5. He drops me. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious, dude?
I'd have paid money to see that.
They give me these stuffed dolls, these stuffed bears. The bears got numbers on them like 1 through 5. I don't want no damn bears. You didn't traumatize me for the rest of my damn life.
Yeah.
The hell?
Did you understand that they were gonna drop you, or did you think?
No. What was I understanding? All I know is I felt wind rushing up from behind my back. That's all I know. I saw stuff moving in front of me real fast. Like I wasn't on no roller coaster ride. You know how your stomach drop on the. I don't even like getting on roller coasters because of that. No, my stomach. I said,
So can I review real quick? If I'm up to this point, you are afraid of heights because the man dropped you from a serious height and didn't tell you he was gonna drop you from a serious height.
At 5, though, he was.
Let me tell you how bad it is. And they say I actually had to look this up because I asked my drill instructor when I was in boot camp. The type of fear that I have is I have to watch myself high places because there's a part of me. This is I'm not making this up. There's a part of me that actually wants to go there. I know I can't fly. I know what that's gonna be. I know what that's gonna be. But I'll be like this. No.
I wonder what that is, because of the rush. Because that's a rush, whether you like it or not.
We're not doing that.
Like having
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I just had a lady join my improv troupe. She skydives.
We wasn't raised like that as Marines. There's something wrong with the plane for us.
Oh, yeah. No, don't you never. Well, I mean, just I feel like I know cats that was in the Army and they was airborne and all of that, and they said sometimes when you jumping out the plane, the parachute get tangled in midair.
No, sir.
That's what. Hey, I'm just telling you what was told to me.
Right.
And you in midair, free falling, and you got to untangle it.
The only thing I know about air in free falling, and Mr. Burnham gonna laugh when I say this. All I know is I was reading this X-Men comic book. Nightcrawler teleported outside of Castle Doom because Dr. Doom was holding all the X-Men and he had to teleport blind. And I remember him spreading his arms wide like this right here so that he could kind of direct himself where he was going. That's all I got. Should my parachute tangle up? That's the go-to move. I don't know nothing else. So no, we're not jumping out no plane.
You just gotta hope your powers kick in.
No, I'm just saying, like, maybe I can slow the stuff down, spread that, but that's the go-to move. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. So until I grow some wings, no,
it's not working.
No. You know, if you could, I got a question. Just gonna throw it out there. Since we got a laugh at my expense, y'all welcome. What if you could have abilities, powers? What would they be? Three. We're gonna stop it.
Oh, I get to have 3 powers?
We gonna. Well, no. You know what? Two. We gonna say you got a primary ability. You talk yourself out of it, and then you got a secondary mutation, like the White Queen. There we go.
Man, oh no. I would want to. I know I want to be able to fly.
Okay.
So I know
any type of flying. We're gonna be real specific now. Do you want to fly like Superman, or do you want to fly like the angel? Which because you can fly like how you want to fly now.
Yeah, I would fly like Superman.
Okay.
Or
do you want to fly? Watch this, like Monica Rambeau.
I feel like Superman.
Okay, all right. Don't say Superman.
It's just built in. I'm not dependent on nothing. I'm just flying. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
God, man, I don't know. It always changes with me. Because super speed would kind of be cool. I need to be able to figure out how I can get in and out of banks. You know what I mean? Without being detected.
Right now, you can do the fly.
I need money.
Why do you need to get in and out of bank? You're not trying to be a superhero? No, that ain't what we're doing.
I'm gonna be a superhero to my people.
Why do people think because I got powers, I'm supposed to do what they think I should do?
I can't. Flying ain't gonna get me in and out of banks undetected. Hold on, let me think about this real quick.
Like one of my powers needs to be able to make me, able to have, life-changing community changing wealth. Because I couldn't. So when I was writing the icon story in this in the milestone initiative thing, like one of my things that never sat right with me with Icon is that he, you know, went kind of dark for a long time based off of his, you know, original origin, where you know he wasn't, you know, like I couldn't imagine having like them kind of powers and not, you know, helping my people, like especially when we're like the most oppressed people in the world, you know. So
and you got the ability to do it.
Yeah, so something that and even so it's cool. The story I wrote in here, let me see if I can find it. What I did with this one, because they in the newer, you know, run, they actually gave like more detail to his origin story. So I kind of took from there, because in his origin, he basically they beefed him up some to where once he figured out his powers, while slavery was still happening, he actually built up a territory and protected it, and free Black people could live there. I think it was in Virginia, actually. And so with that, it was like he was trying to do the right thing, and then somebody, you know, took him out. And that's kind of what happens with us as a people, right? Every time we try to build and do something for ourselves, they would come in and, you know, burn it down. So like when I wrote this, I tried to give like kind of a reason why, which was that, you know, it's like no matter how many times you try, they just keep kicking us and knocking us down. This whole story, and I'm glad I met somebody just randomly at this book event last weekend, and he saw that story and he really understood what it was. He was like, there's so much symbolism in that story, you know, of the Black man, you know, fighting, pulling himself up by the bootstraps, trying to be, you know, better for the community, trying to be better, you know, for the world. And then we keep getting knocked down. And then the Black woman, there's always a Black woman that's there to come and help, you know, like put, you know, pick us up. So he was able to see that. And it makes me feel good because it's like some of these stories can be kind of just straightforward, but then others are like, you know, there's layers in it, and there's a lot of thought that goes into the, you know, even, and that's an 8-page story, but there's a lot in there that I put in, and then the key is to try to write it and, you know, plot it out, because as a comic book writer, most of the time you're directing the artist exactly what to write. I mean, to draw on each panel. So planning all of that out and trying to make it still like a fluent, where it doesn't seem convoluted. That was like a big part of it. But yeah, that was my mind state. Like if I had those powers, why don't we have a country or two? You know, why don't we have a continent?
It's ironic that you say that, simply for the fact that with Darryl, myself, and quite a few of us being older readers, you find the comic book companies, especially the big two, have a how can I put it, a problem writing Black superheroes that existed during the civil rights era, regardless of who it is. It could be Amazing Man, it could be Icon, as you alluded to. It could even be the guy that we Blue Marvel. It's crazy because we want us, some of us, not all of us, few of us in this country want to act like racial issues never existed. But even when you look in the comic books that we're fans of, regardless of who we are, you look at Black superheroes that were supposed to exist during the civil rights era, and folks have the damnedest time trying to write those characters, regardless of who they are, because of what you just alluded to. You can't explain the fact that you have Black superhumans running around during the civil rights era and they didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
that's damn near impossible. Like,
yeah, that's off the top. Like, I remember watching one of those terrible Transformers movies where they were saying that, you know, the Transformers had been on the planet since medieval times and all this stuff. I'm like, so Optimus Prime ain't do nothing about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's kind of, that's kind of comes along with suspending disbelief. You have to be able to compartmentalize and say, this, like.
Yeah, but in the case of the Transformers, that was more like writing yourself into a hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or having one writer not look at the material the previous writer did and know you can't do that if it's the first time in these movies.
Yeah, no, they just be doing stuff, man. I would love to, like, there were people online campaigning me, like, give me an Icon series, and I thought that was cool, based off of that story. I would love to write like a Civil War, not Civil War, Civil Rights age, story with Icon in it, and like have him really doing some stuff. And you can do it. It's just that I think that so everybody's not qualified to talk about everything, right? So you could even like I love what I learned because when we were talking, like we in our orientation, they were talking about diversity, and one of the editors said it. She said that they used to think that diversity was putting these characters into their books. So putting Blue Marble or Black Lightning, like we created this black character, that's diversity. But they now have realized that true diversity is allowing people to tell their stories.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's like, and unencumbered. I gotta add that part.
Right.
But then it gets deeper because now we have a lot of black creators, a lot of black writers, but it's like, are you still qualified? Is the life you live or the experience you've had or the research you've done, are you really qualified to tell certain types of stories? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like finding the right people to, like if in this book, Sean Martinborough, he did a really good story in the DC Power. Like this one, I think they were like the first year, because this is the second year they've had this book. Last year, I think they were, some of it may have came off a little bit heavy-handed, like as far as the, black issues type of thing. Mm-hmm. So this year, I think they were trying to, stray away from that a little. But there's still really good stories in here. But it's like you got to have the, how do I say it? Like you just have to have like the right blend of, people that understand the target. You know what I'm saying? So I know there was one thing in here, and Edwin Gallman did the art on this story and on the Val-Zod one, and the Black Superman. I'm sorry, not Val-Zod, but there was one page that got released where he was arm in arm with Power Girl. And that went on, like people went crazy on the internet over that. Because it's like, it's Black History Month, and you got him with a white woman, and not even knowing what the story was about. You know what I'm saying? They just went nuts on it. So it's like, but, you also have to, like, understand, some people hire cultural consultants, to, do their work now. I've done that job for somebody before. But yeah,
how come they don't do that? Well, let me say, I don't.
Ask.
I want to say nah, because is it that simple a fix? Is it that? Well, let me do it like this, Greg. Would you ever want to write Black Panther?
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I would.
What kind of now? I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a whole bunch of people that love Black Panther in the chat. Now, I know you're gonna do you, regardless. What kind of story would you write for T'Challa, the Black Panther?
I mean, okay, so you gotta understand what I might want to write. They might not let you write because editorial determines. Like sometimes they determine.
Let me hear your thoughts. We are Friday vibing.
We vibing. We vibing. We vibe.
Yeah,
We vibe.
like,
We say one time. We vibe.
Honestly, I've always wanted to do a story where someone was attempting to colonize Wakanda, like some non-melanated people, and this is just me. And if somebody sees this and steals it, I'm gonna hunt you down. But yeah, I would like, the first thing I would say is, like, if there was an outside force that was trying to invade Wakanda, kind of like how Europe did the whole world. So I would love to do something like that. It don't even have to be T'Challa. It could be T'Chaka, or it could be a previous Panther from him. You know what I'm saying? It could be in the 1800s. The way that they tried to invade Ethiopia and like Italy. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that.
Right.
I would love to do like a Panther story like that.
But would are you talking about like a single story, or like say if they said you are writing Black Panther and we want you to do 15 issues, your entire 15 issues will consist of that?
Yeah, it could. Definitely could. And depending on when, like I said, I would love. So believe it or not, I'm so used to doing my own thing, making my own stories. Little Rock Files, Tuskegee Years, Sadaka, like that stuff. And that's where my like real heart is, right?
Okay.
So I'm so used to doing that. I would love to have like a big sandbox I could play with, right? So if I have to do something that's current and I have to adhere to like the rules and that they've already got set up, I could do it, and I think I would rock it. But man, if you let me get like a 1200 year 1200 AD, you know what I'm saying? These Europeans are trying to colonize Wakanda.
To hear you say that is refreshing, because one of the things that we talked about, Daryl, myself, Black Panther fans, is that there's so many Panthers out there right now. They've basically sold up T'Challa's family tree. Daryl would love this one. Going all the way back to Fantastic Four 52, where T'Challa basically said that Bashinga was his not his descendant, but his forefather, his ancestor. So now we know that. So with that said and everything like that, I think that would be something wonderful. I think, especially the way writers want to write right now, those Panthers haven't been fleshed out. So to have an anthology series or a sister series running along with a monthly Black Panther title, where someone like yourself, if not you, I think that would be the bee's knees, for lack of better terminology. Bee's knees to flesh out those Panthers, because they haven't been fleshed out.
Yeah.
That would be the shiznit.
My only thing would be that I would hope in that, because I understand how editorial works. So, and this is not negative, because Ben Mears was my editor for the Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun, the Superman story, and he was great. I love working with him. I could work with him alone all the time. But in this, I'm pitching stuff, and he's like, "This is great, but we can't do this for Superman." Like there's certain but I get it, especially like working in corporate America for a long time. Certain things, they have kind of, like unwritten rules. Like, yeah, we're not gonna go. It's nothing crazy, but that's just how it works. So I would hope that I would be able to tell a story. My story is not gonna be super duper radical or anything like that. Anyway, it's not gonna put people off, I should say.
Right.
But I would just hope that I could tell the story kind of the way that I want to.
That's true. That's true. I can definitely. I think we can all appreciate that. I think we can all appreciate that. Go ahead, Daryl. You had something else.
Well, I was going to, say, a lot of times, what I've been hearing, people are saying, I'm tired of just seeing these stories about T'Challa on the throne, or I'm tired of seeing these stories about T'Challa doing the usual fanfare,
Mm-hmm.
and so to go, kind of like Tales of the Black Panther, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Kind of an approach to it where, kind of like how I think back in the day they did with Iron Fist when they did the Immortal Iron Fist. And, you got to meet, these other Iron Fists that, basically had the same job as Iron Fist. And when you really think about it, Iron Fist never did the job he was supposed to do. But, you get to delve into these different character tales and what from their perspective what it was, and
Mm-hmm.
and then these different Iron Fists, and what through the years and what they did and how they did it, and just, I don't want to say the M word, but kind of like like what Theo said, to have something like that going alongside the regular book
Yeah.
would be,
And it's,
yeah,
it all comes down to like what they have budgeted, and like right now, writing wise, like, so the new run with Eve Ewing, who is amazing. I love Eve Ewing. I like what she's doing with the story, but there's a lot of people that I think at this point, like they, the Ta-Nehisi Coates run, people feel a way about. Some people like it. I thought it got better as it went on. And then the one before, the Ridley one that came out just before that, a lot of people are not, super happy about that. So it's like, I guess my thing, and this is like one of my complaints with us, even myself sometimes, is like Black fans of media as a whole. Like I said earlier, it's like supporting with your dollar is so important, just for the fact that you want to see some, if you want to see it keep going. But then there's also like, what's happening in like comic book fandom right now. In a lot of ways, you see it with the movies. It's like everybody just hates everything. You know what I mean? Everybody like scrutinizes stuff to the T, and they find one thing and they don't like it, and then they run, they create narratives and run with it. And it's like, I don't know, man. Every Wednesday, I'm walking up in a comic shop. If it's got Black people on the cover, I'm buying it. I buy other stuff too, but I'm buying it. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Because
right.
it's like, I understand this is, I don't want to say it's a war, but it's definitely a battle. And we're, it's like every time we, you know, these books, they sell out. It's like, oh, we need to print more of these. You
Hold
see
on.
what happened with that Ultimate Spy. I mean, the Ultimate Black
You
Panther.
know why I looked away, don't you, Daryl?
Why?
You know why I looked away, don't you? That ain't.
We Friday vibing, gone and vibe.
Oh, I looked away because I did a video a couple of years ago where I was talking about the state of Black fandom, Black representation, Black imagery, and I said on the video, I said we're at war. I was basically stating Daryl and I being veterans and everything, that we were basically the victims of propaganda. We were facing propaganda that was deliberately being used to separate us, divide us, degrade us, as a people. And he said he was Derek Bozeman. That's what he said. He said he was Derek Bozeman. He said, this is Derek Bozeman. I have no way of verifying that, but he said, this is Derek Bozeman. He said, you're right. We are at war. I don't know if you seen the video when he did the interview with Urban Faith, but I was like, it's one thing to know it, to feel it, to say it even, but to have somebody else like, now I see the same thing you saying, and then 2 years later, someone of your prestige and everything say, okay, nah, we it's a war, it's a battle going on out here. It's like, oh, okay, so we're not crazy. That's what that is for real. Okay, so it's enlightening. It's enlightening to say the least.
Yeah.
If your eyes are open, eyes are open, and when I say your eyes, I'm talking about
you woke. You woke.
Yo,
the true definition of being woke. The true definition of being woke.
If you can see it right there in front of you, because the quote, one of my favorite quotes, I always quote it. I've later learned, I think it was from Mr. Ray Smith, that it was Grand Madam. That is actually a quote from Sherlock Holmes, but I learned about it on Star Trek when I heard Spock say it. And it said, whatever possibilities you have, you eliminate all. Whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. A lot of times it'd be some improbable shit left, and you like, that's all that's left.
Yeah, boy, look.
Yes, that must, you know what I'm saying? That must be the truth then, right? So that's kind of like, the realm I operate in, and people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, don't y'all see what that man just said? And everybody reacted to it like, oh, he was supposed to say that. No, that stuff he said was weird, but nobody reacted to it like it was weird. No. And that's what be tripping me out, because I'm like, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. You ain't even got me in conspiracy theorist mode yet, and it's just like, that's the everyday, walking down the street kind of attitude.
Right. So that's, like I said, it's just, to me, I don't want to say it's a wild moment, but it's just one of them things that, like, okay, so I ain't as crazy as some people say I am, because folks, he closer to it than I am. So let me see if I got this right. The actor of the supposedly the actor of the brother see it. Well, it's actually a writer. This a professional. This ain't no amateur. This a professional. He do this. This what he do. Well, he's saying it is going on too. Well, you know what? That if I'm crazy, I ain't crazy by myself. That's all I know. I ain't crazy by myself.
That part.
And the thing that I'll say is, like, I don't even. So I look at these things, it's like, I'm not even bitter about it. I just understand what it is. I think that's part of our problem is we'll get emotional, but then there ain't no action. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not because I saw somebody say a quote where they were saying, they're tired basically of these guys like ruining characters they love. And I get that. But like when I go into the movie theater, I already, like right now, they just released this new Avatar, The Last Airbender series on Netflix. I loved it. Me and my son like bonded so much off of that show. That show. It's like, it was so funny because like he's probably like 8 or 9, and I'm like 30 something, and we're sitting on the couch eating cereal, watching the show, like, you know what I'm saying? And like both of us are like genuinely, I'm not loving it because my son likes it. I'm loving it because I love it. And we're like, dude, did you see that? And so they released this new one. I'm not going into it expecting it to be exactly what that show was. I'm not like I didn't go into to figure out why I don't like it or why, what's wrong with it. If it gets bad, I'll turn it off.
Right.
I'll walk away.
Right.
But I just don't, I guess because I work in this space and I've seen what happens like over and over again. It's like when they're adapting, it's called an adaptation for a reason. When they're adapting it, I just don't go in expecting it to, to be perfect. And if I want, I can always watch the old stuff or read the old stuff, you know what I mean, to keep my, my juices flowing, so to speak.
We say that we say that as Black Panther fans. If we don't like the new stuff, we can always consume the old stuff again. Like I said, it's a
We'll
wild
always have jungle action.
Yeah.
It's a wild moment to hear you speak, because like I said, we're on the outside of it. You're on the inside of it. To hear you speak of being able to enjoy content like that with your son, the mindset that you go into with it, where you're not expecting it to be what it was before, because it is adaptation. One of the things we've been talking about is the appreciation for good storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can say is well, we want this story, we want that story. There's only so many different ways you can tell a story. There's only so many. Give us your take, your how do you feel about the significance of telling a great story as opposed to an original story, if you will, an original concept? What's more important, telling a great story or telling an original story?
To me, it's like a great story. Like for me, story comes first. Like if you're, it's just like this. It's crazy because you can have like all the flashing lights and all that kind of stuff, but you can take, if you have like a really good story, that's what's going to resonate. So let's look at like The Walking Dead. That book comes out. The art is all right. It's not anything major. It's black and white. I picked up the first one. I'm like, yeah, let me see.
I have it too.
And I picked it up and I read through that I read through that thing so fast.
We vibing.
Okay. I read through it like so fast, and I was like, damn, I need the next one. I need the next. You know what I'm saying? And it was like the story, look what that story turned into. I don't know how much money they made, for AMC, like,
right.
But
he dirty money, dirty.
They got spin-off shows, and so I look at it from that standpoint. Like, it's always going to be the story. The story is what got me into all of this in the beginning. I tell people a lot with comics, I have to force myself to stop and look at the art, because I'm such like a word driven person. That's the way my brain is wired. So I could be like 3 pages and be like, damn it, let me go back so I can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Story is always good. I just understand, because I'm learning, I want to be able to write scripts and do movies and stuff like that. So working in that space, I just understand it. You even see it with comics. Like, I could give an artist an exact, excuse me, an exact description of what I want to see in a particular panel. And then he can take it and process it differently than what I said. And sometimes it turns out looking way better than what I wanted to see. And then sometimes I have to be like, no, I need this bracelet in this scene because it's important. It's going to come up later. You know what I mean? So when you transfer to movies, and this is what I try to tell people, and hopefully this doesn't sound condescending, because I'm not trying to be. It's just an education thing that people have to understand. Me as a writer, like if I write a script for a movie and it gets approved and that producer and that director takes it, I'm out. Unless they're having me as a consultant on set every day, which is not always the thing, I'm out. So I'm back home in Norcross while they're making a movie. And then that director can interpret, he can change things, he can switch up, he can, slice this with that. Some stuff might end up messing up continuity. So I always be like, before you say this is bad writing for this particular movie or this animated show, go read the original scripts. And if it's bad there, then I got you. But what I write, you're not going to necessarily see everything.
So It's crazy that you say that, because one of the other things that we've been talking about, and you mentioned her earlier, Dr. Eve Ewing. I like her writing. I like her writing. As a Black Panther fan, I can feel some type of way about certain specific things, but aside
Like
from that,
choices.
overall, I like her writing. One of the things that we have been preaching to those who feel a certain type of way about her writing style, or things that she might not be put in the comment, is to go holler at CB Sabalski, who has a Twitter page. Is what we've been preaching is that, yeah, you got the writer, but the writer got to answer to somebody. The writer got to answer to somebody.
Yeah, and there's like,
Yep.
I think that people, so something else, and this is stuff that I've learned in the last few years. You don't ever know how that writer was brought in, right? So I've been lucky enough, and I guess since it's just been anthologies, basically, to where they're like, hey, you pitch me something and I'll tell you if I like it. I want you to write this character, come up with 3 pitches for this character, for this story, right? And so I've been lucky in that arena so far, creatively, but they might come to you and say, hey, I already have an arc. I already have the major plot points. I already have the ending, blah, blah, blah. I need you to write this and fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the thing that I try to get people to understand is that every editor is not the same. I've heard like so many horror stories about, editors, and the ones that I've worked with so far, I have been just wonderful experiences. I'm learning, like growing, and they've been great experiences, right? So that doesn't mean there's not an editor that's like a micromanager somewhere out there, like waiting for me, if I might sign up and get that job, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. So never look at it like when you see us do, Tuskegee Years or Little Rock Files, even Little Rock Files, I got, and I'm doing that with a publisher. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if I put some stuff in, so far we've been good because we're, he knows me, all of that. But if I put something in that he feels doesn't fit with his brand, he can scratch that out. You know what I mean? So if you see me doing like Tuskegee Years, The Search for Sadaka, stuff like that, yeah, that's me. If you feel like that writing is bad, go ahead and throw a rock at me. You know what I'm saying? But like somebody, you just never know. Like I've seen stuff where I can tell this editor practically wrote this for this writer, like some of the celebrity, writers and stuff like that. You heavy hand guided this person to, tell his story. I can tell because it fits in with the arc of what's happening right now in the books. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, so, and one of the other things that we've heard is, well, we want certain writers to write certain characters. We want writers of certain prestige to write certain characters. One of the things that we've talked about is not necessarily having a writer of a certain prestige, but how about having a writer that has a overall working knowledge of the character? What I would like to ask you now is, because they've seen it where they had Iman Vellani, she's writing a comic book. I think CM Punk write a comic book. Is there a thing where you come in never having written a comic book before, and they sit somebody with you to actually help you write a comic book?
I'm sure of it. Like I've seen it in some indie spaces where they get like a celebrity to come in, and it's really that celebrity's just there by name. No offense, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying I've seen it. I'm absolutely sure that happens because, like, you think about it. It's just like if you're a up and coming rapper, you know what I'm saying. Joe on the corner might be super dope. He might be better, than any lyricist you can find. But are you gonna put him on the song, or are you gonna put Lil Wayne on the song?
Right.
Right? Because if you put Lil Wayne on the song, or J.
You
Cole.
trying to sell it. You ain't, yeah.
Right.
I see.
So I understand why they do it. I feel like it could kind of hurt the integrity of what we're doing here, but they've been doing it forever. And it's like I don't feel like it hurts because I don't feel like they're stealing jobs from us because these ain't our jobs. We just get in when we can,
Right.
Right.
So, but yeah, absolutely. I feel like I've done like some ghost editing for people before, where it's basically like, get out the way, let me,
No, not you being the ghostwriter, not you out here.
No. But I
Ghost editing, he said.
But
look, I'm gonna push the needle. Nah, he out here ghostwriting. That's what he said. That's what he low key said.
Just for like independent, children's books and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like, nah, let me go ahead and clean this up for you. like that kind of stuff. So you can see that, and again, it's no Gray. There's comics use ghost artists a lot. It's not as bad as it used to be from what I'm told, but they definitely use ghost artists. So Mr. Big. Yeah. Like it'll be stuff like Daryl, you're this super duper artist. We're putting your name on the book. And Daryl's like, I got 12 projects going at the same time. So, you might need to get somebody to help you, with, like you might do the layouts and they might do the inks, stuff like that happens. It happens in every business, though.
Okay. And that part of it I get, but it's like if I'm the artist, okay, the large part of my job is to make sure there's something on the paper for somebody to color and ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so their jobs can't happen without mine happening first.
Right.
Okay, so I could see where a certain degree of
so like it could be something
juggling on your part, as far as a writer will come into play.
Yeah. So there's, stuff like that just happens when like somebody might get sick or have like an emergency. And and these things, when I tell you these are fine-tuned machines, I'm not playing with you. Like, so if you're 2 days late on something, like I know people personally who got hired for jobs, like artist jobs and stuff like that. And it's like, they might have been hired for a week and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to have to go a different direction because you're not meeting. Like, if you can't hit the deadlines, because like if the penciler doesn't have his stuff turned in on time, it could set everything back. And that goes for every single, facet of the process. So that, like, they'll tell you, like I've had editors say it, like, if people can't keep up, you might get fired in the middle of a book and they'll bring in somebody else to rock it out.
Damn.
Okay, so wait, I'm not.
It's rough out here on these streets. It's rough out here.
Yeah, listen, I wish the Sunday studio was like that. I don't play about my money. I need my change. I need my chips with dip. I need that.
Some of them, they burning money like Kirby on Dead Presidents. Lighting your cigar with hundreds.
Like Sony on Madam Web. Have y'all seen that?
No. And
don't worry about it.
You're not finna.
Oh yeah, hey there. He thumbed it up for me when he said that.
Don't worry.
You're not gonna speak that negativity into my life, Ricky Bobby. You're not gonna do that. I just had other things I could do with my. You know what? Me and Daryl. Okay, so we comic book fans, right? We comic book fans. So we comic book fans. Like, the MCU was not our introduction in the comic. We go back to the 70s with this thing, right?
Right.
And so we look at stuff from afar. I can remember people getting high. I'm not gonna mention the Marvels because folks feel some type of way. I'm gonna mention Flash to Flashpoint. I bought the comics. I watched the animated version of it. I don't know what anybody saw in the trailers that made them think that movie was gonna be good. Yeah, that was hot trash. So I don't know how folks don't know when a movie not gonna be bad. I mean, how folks don't know when a movie gonna be bad. Like if you a comic book fan, you know when the movie gonna be bad.
So I like when I saw that trailer, I was like, but I go see everything. So I'm just gonna be honest. Like I got the AMC A list, so I'm getting my 3 movies in.
Oh no, we're not there yet. Not there
yeah. So I'll be like, sometimes I have like I got 2 hours. I'm just gonna run up in here and see what I'm gonna see. You know what I mean? But
okay.
So I saw the thing. I was like, yeah, I don't expect it to be good, but I've been surprised by certain things, because trailers can only tell you so much, and sometimes it's just like a badly put together trailer. Now we're in this space, especially they're having this problem with female-led movies. I think the studios just don't know what to do because they're like, as many, like genuine, critics and, lovers of these things, as many of those that we have a whole bunch of people that are just, poisonous, and anything that they see where with diversity, when they throw up the woke slur, they just gonna, they purposely go online and review bomb and, try to tear these things down. So I think the studios now they're like, I thought maybe in that trailer they were trying to show you the stuff that they thought people wanted to see. Yeah. But I think anytime you're making art and you're worried about making people happy or, nervous about making them upset, I think you're doing it wrong.
So
I think you write it.
Do it good.
Oh, go ahead.
Studios, we got Mr. Burnham here. My brother D-Real and everything. I'm sorry. My brother D-Real, him. Tell the story. Just tell the story right. Y'all remember that movie with Samuel L. Jackson? Just tell the story. Just tell the story with John Travolta. Just tell the story right. If the woman, if she's skinny, she's skinny. If she dark skinned, she dark skinned. If she got a big butt, she got a big butt. If she heavy chested, she heavy chested. Cause us dudes, men, we not saying nothing when you telling us and making us look at Chris Evans' butt. We don't want to. You're directing our line of sight at it. We don't really care that that's America's butt. We ain't saying nothing. You got Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off all the damn time. Look at us in this video. Do any of us look like Chris Hemsworth? And I'm not talking about melanated wise. I'm talking about physique wise. No, we don't. You literally made us look at this dude naked ass. Literally made us look at his naked ass. Made our daughters look at his naked ass. Made our sons, who probably hadn't even decided what their sexual orientation was, look at his naked ass. Okay.
Is that how it happened?
You're doing these movies.
Just tell us, just focus on. And the thing about the story is that, the story is gonna carry more weight, right? So how many times have we seen it? I think, have y'all seen Godzilla -1?
He has.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went into that movie. I had already heard a couple people say it was dope, people that I trust. But I'm just going in to watch the movie. I love Godzilla. You put Godzilla on anything, I'm gonna watch it. I love that movie. I ended up seeing that movie like 4 times. The story was so great. It touched so many different points. And what did it do? It just stayed in the theater for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And the only reason they took it out is because they're, they got to start marketing this new one that's coming out.
Right.
But it's like they made this amazing movie, this story that day one when it comes on streaming, I'm buying it. probably on multiple platforms because I need to be able to watch it whenever I feel like it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
you know, that's what happens when you put story in front of the, you know, all the glamour and glitz. And so, but
and
I
did
mean,
it on the cheap. Did it on the cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
but
let me ask you a
then
Got
question.
made all their money on the back end and then some.
Another
but
question.
then, you know, you got to look from the studio standpoint. How many like really good movies with really good stories don't make a lot of money? You know what I'm saying? Because the public, I don't want to. I feel like, especially in the United States, we've been dumbed down so much to where people, like Theo, you were saying how there's only so many ways to tell a story. Well, I feel like now it's only 2 or 3. Like if you tell like I'm saying to appease, you know, the majority of people. Like, you remember, we're old enough to remember the 70s, the 80s. You would have movies with these open endings and, you know, like these things that will really make you think and would like just leave you hanging. Like, I gotta, you know, I need more of this. You can't do that. Like the movie with Mahershala Ali that was on Netflix recently. I can't remember the name of it. It's like some end of the world type stuff.
Oh my God. Who the with the comment.
No, not the Comet. But that's a good example also. Like, I'll look it up. But yeah, these movies where it's like, okay, it's an open ending, but if you would have really paid attention, because I watched that movie the first time, I'm not gonna lie, I was on my phone. I was, you know, distracted, whatever.
Leave the world behind.
Yeah. Leave the world behind.
Yes.
Thank
you, Kamaya.
Yeah, the first time, it's like I was kind of like just dicking around, and then I got to the end, and I'm like, I need to go back and watch this thing, turn my phone off, whatever. And I go back and watch it again. And if you watch it, the ending is open as a mug. But if you watch everything that's happening, they basically told you, you know, what's going to happen, you know, at that point. So I look at it as art. I know a lot of people feel differently about Nope, you know, Jordan Peele's movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's one of the best things I've ever seen in cinema.
Let me say this. I'm intrigued by that movie, and actually I'm intrigued by a lot of stuff that Jordan Peele has done, just as him being a producer, writer, director. That movie got me with just the bits and pieces I was watching on like YouTube when people was just dissecting the movie.
When they were, yeah.
I thought it was okay. No, this ain't wrong. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. So, and what I want to ask you, because I think it's just a fair question, and I don't know how to ask it, so I'm just going to ask it like this: have you ever read Shakespeare?
Mm-hmm.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe is my favorite.
The reason why I'm asking that is because one of the things I've talked about specifically on my channel is I believe it says something. There's a difference between someone who has read writers of that note. Folks who can read their writing and appreciate their writing, they have a different appreciation for writers than folks who just have read comic books, because that's a different type of storytelling. Now, I understand why some people don't really want to might find it challenging to go back and read a Don McGregor book, because, for lack of better terminology, he's wordy. He's a wordy writer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm asking you, did you find it beneficial to you as a reader, and as a writer, to have read stories by those writers, those acclaimed writers, those critical writers from back in the day?
Yeah. So appreciation is a good word. It's I guess I could look at it kind of like music, right? Like my dad, I remember my dad, telling me when he was a kid, James Brown was his favorite, just by far his favorite artist.
My mom.
And so I've lived my whole life understanding, who James Brown is, listen to the music and everything. But then I was gonna do a project where I was gonna write a James Brown story. So I went nuts, like digging, trying to find stuff that hasn't been said about him, because so much has been said about him. And I got to this point where, like they started breaking down funk music and how he was kind of the popular person who, like, some people say it was already happening, but the whole thing is that, with funk music, instead of like the beat hitting on the 2, you know what I'm saying, the beat hits on the 1, right? So once you like understand that, and I'm getting somewhere with this, once you understand that, it's like now you can look at music as a whole in a different way. The next person I think of is like Jay Dilla, James Yancey, rest in peace. They've actually, like, where he was quantizing the kick to come a little bit before or a little bit after it's supposed to hit, because he was thinking of, he's thinking of how we bob our heads to music. That's where it comes from, right? So now there's people that call it Dilla time. It's a whole new style of production, right? So I think about that. It's like when you understand these geniuses, you know what I'm saying? It just opens your eyes to so many things that you could do. So I take like Rodney Barnes, for instance, because I feel like I feel like Rodney Barnes is the Shakespeare of this era, as far as like when it comes to comics.
Is my dude.
Like,
Rodney Barnes.
I read comics and I'd be like, I could do that. I read Rodney stuff. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know.
To me, he writes the way people talk.
Yeah, but it's more than that.
That's where it catches you at.
That definitely, and there's an art to that as well. That's not, that doesn't just live with everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's an art to that.
Yeah.
But then like the layers and the way he can go from writing something like Philadelphia to writing something like Luke Cage, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and like effectively killing, writing TV shows, like he's that dude to me.
Yeah.
So, it's like you study these guys and how could it not impact you? Right. And like I said, that was one of the things I was talking about because you mentioned Eve Ewing, and the Colts and Ridley and everything like that. And I'm like, when you read writers like that, and no pictures involved and everything like that. No, their words are creating the images in your head. Yeah. And they're using language that's to a degree foreign to what you're speaking today, because they're using thou and thee and all that other good stuff and everything like that. But they're still able to command your imagination. That says something. So to me, it's just always allowed me to have a different appreciation for a writer. You either got it right or you got it wrong, or you got it right, but you had some opportunities that you missed. You, in essence, you were still able to hold the attention of the reader, thus telling a good story. So I just wanted to get your take on that and everything, because there's always, I felt like a writer of someone who's read Shakespeare, they benefit from that as a writer, no differently than someone who's read Shakespeare benefits as a reader. Is what I was looking at. Yeah, and I will say this also, because one of the things I'm constantly trying to do is deconstruct like the colonial mind state that was, basically inflicted upon us.
So like I think I mentioned him earlier, like Greg Anderson Ellisay. He's a Haitian kid from New York. I call him a kid. He's a grown man, but and he's very creative. Like Isnana the Were Spider is based off of like a Nazi, and he uses African mythological characters, and he writes, and there'll be some patois in there, and there'll be some broken English in there, and some people will look at that because it's not based off the Eurocentric standards that we've been taught, right? So we, going to school and somebody who loved words and loved English and loved history, we were taught that this is how you're supposed to write, and this is the only way it works, right? If you're not writing like this, it's bad. I'll never forget Sister Soldier, this lady I worked with. She was like, I want you to read this book. And I was like, no, because I knew the kind of stuff she was into. She was into like, reality TV, all that kind of stuff. That's not my bag. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And so she, she basically enticed me. She was like, if you read it and you like it, and she said, if you read it and you don't like it, I'll buy your lunch for a week. If you like it, you don't have to do anything. I just want you to read it and see what you think. And so I opened it. It wasn't the first one. It was the Midnight book. So I opened it up, looked at the first couple of pages. Colonial mind state. I think I'm a writer state. I'm like, this ain't spelled right. This is off. This,
right.
Who edited this? I'm on that thing. Like 9 hours later, it's like 6 o'clock, and I'm supposed to be getting up to go to work, but I just been reading this damn book all night because I couldn't stop. And I finished the book the next day, so I, knocked it out in like probably 15 hours, if that. I don't remember how long it was. That's not the point. But the story was amazing. The story kept me captivated, and because I was ready to throw it off because it wasn't the standard. The language, all that kind of stuff. But that's all,
right.
having that mind state. So, because I've seen some people with Greg's work, they'll be like, yeah, why did he make that decision? Oh, because he's not encumbered by, this, this Eurocentric mind state. He's, telling the story he wants, the way he wants to tell.
I think it's a lot to be said. I think, and I'm just going to say this to my brothers and sisters, especially to our younger brothers and sisters, African American literature. I'm just gonna tell y'all those are some nice classes to take in college. You get to read about a lot of Black writers, Black authors, and they're going to write from an unconventional standpoint because their target audience is not, to Mr. Burnham's point, it's not the colonial mindset. It's not, no, they writing the books for us. I think it was Ralph Ellison who wrote The Invisible Man, if I'm not mistaken. A beautiful piece of work. But yes, sir, go right ahead.
But I just wanted to mention, like, these are conscious decisions. These are people that can write their ass off. And if you want them to write the standard, they can do that. But they've made conscious decisions to not shun our history, to not shun the way our forefathers talk, the way that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it's I look at it kind of like what we're doing. Like, we could come, we could have came out with like some stuff that was more diverse or like with featuring white characters and, really blew up. But we're making a conscious decision to make stories about our people, even though we know it might not ever blow up the way the same story could if it was, white people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just wanted to say that because we were talking about the war, the battle, like these are acts of defiance, and people,
Indeed.
You might not it might not be perceived that way, but like this story, I was gonna do this one myself, and what happened, and I think Daryl, you got the Noir the New Black, right?
I got who?
This one?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is the anthology that Fair Square did. Fair Square is run by Fabrice Sapolsky.
Oh wait, I'm tripping. Yeah, I do. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Yeah, I'm tripping. It's Friday vibing.
But yeah. And Fabrice set out to make this, to open, his company up and make this anthology with nothing but Black creators. Fabrice is French. I still call him my brother because we're super cool. But
right.
That's an act of defiance, and to hire he's like, you got a colorist in mind? I was like, I got this guy. Is he Black? No, he's not Black. Okay, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a conscious decision. That's not I'm gonna what to make today. No, it's a conscious decision. I think he put like 40 grand because everybody got paid. Artists, writers, the letterers are Black. Everybody's Black. You know what I mean? So we got to look at those things. I since I'm in it, I already know this. Mm-hmm. So that's why I support to the end. That's why every other day I got a Kickstarter package arriving at my door. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody, another Black creator just launched a comic book.
Right. That's my thing right there, is making sure, because like I said, Daryl is largely responsible for me, coming into the world of Black independent writers and everything like that. To me, it's like it's I don't want to say it's so many of y'all out there. I'm just gonna say it's a piss poor job of us knowing that y'all are out there.
I tell you,
I'm not saying it's y'all, because like I said, I don't believe y'all working as hard as y'all possibly can.
But I don't blame people for not knowing, because this shit is hard, man. I mean, if you look at it, like we seen what happened with let's take hip hop for instance. Mm-hmm. All these great artists that are making music for the people, that shit ends up getting suppressed, and what comes out in the forefront, all the stuff that ain't good for our people. That's what the media promotes. So off rip, it's like it's being hidden from you. Who was it that said you want to hide something from us? Put it in a book.
Look, I'm so sick and tired of that, because that's what they were saying when me and Daryl was kids with no pubic hair. I'm sorry, I'm sick of that.
Right, and it's like they're this stuff is purposely being hidden from us. So no matter how many people buy one of my books or rock with it, there's gonna be so many people that haven't heard. The only thing I can do, I know guys that, if I suggest, if I hear about a good comic, I can say, yo, you should buy this comic. This is good. And then they'll go buy it and support the artist. You know what I mean? So that's all we can do, is keep sharing and, pushing it. I wanted to answer, because somebody asked, do I think of soundtracks for...
Yeah. I wanted you to field that question.
Yes.
And you know what I thought about when I saw that question? Lil Rock Files.
Absolutely. If I can, if this turns into, say it turned into to a movie or a show deal or something like that, I absolutely, everything, because I'm so, into music, and it's part of, my blood. So
we talked about that.
Yeah. So it's like everything I do, man, I sent in a script for these people wanted to see like a writing sample. I sent in a script recently, and I'm like, this scene, Daydream by Lupe Fiasco is playing. And this scene, it's like I'm always thinking of, music, because it is a huge part of what I do. Like sometimes you might even see a little phrase or a little line from a song somewhere in it. You know what I mean?
So is Lupe Fiasco? I mean, just like, say for instance, when do you create to music?
Oh yeah. So my thing as a writer, it can be hard. Like I have friends, that draw, and they're like, man, I can listen they listen to something that might make them feel mellow or hype, whatever. Right. As a writer, like for me, I have to listen to stuff that I already know. Like I know it, by heart. So I'm not, so my brain's not trying to figure out what's being said, like any of that kind of stuff. I can just be singing along and not even know what I'm singing. But yeah, it's not rare to have me like playing music at 3 a.m, like a long playlist while I'm typing up some stuff.
I can definitely feel that. I can definitely feel that.
Oh, I think, see, now somebody in the very conversation that me and you had last time we talked, look at the question.
I ain't doing that and get beat up. My top 5 artists.
Hit them.
Listen, I have a comic convention that I'm running. We just announced Aletha Martinez is going to be there. We're going to have Todd Johnson and Larry Stroman. They're going to be there. Like,
this is the one in August, right?
Yeah. Okay. And we're fielding more, guests. I ain't saying no top 5 and then somebody yell at me because I ain't put them on there. So can't help you with that one. Marcus Williams is my brother from another mother. So he's definitely going to be one. I'm just going to name people that I worked with. How about that? Quinn McGowan, who did Little Rock Files. He's one of my favorites. I ain't doing this, man.
Yeah. Keep don't do that. Don't do that.
Good man. And I was thinking maybe they were thinking, who's well, maybe that is what he was thinking. Never mind.
Look, they're gonna get my dog in trouble. We're not doing that.
I'm trying to help you. Never mind. Anyway, we at the 2-hour mark. You want to keep going or not?
I mean, I don't have anything to do for a little bit longer.
I ain't gonna lie like that. My stomach talking to me. I'm listen. Don't do that. Listen, I weighed 171. I stepped on the scale and I said we're heading in the wrong direction. We got to get that back up. So we vibing. You vibing with us and everything like that. And so I'm gonna switch gears a little bit because we could talk to you ad nauseum, in depth, all day, every day about what you would be doing, and we would never get tired of it and everything like that. Do you collect action figures? Well, you know what? That's a dumb question because you just showed me do. So we're not gonna ask you who are your top 5 artists. We're not gonna ask you that. We're gonna ask you who, because we see you got action figures. We do. Your top 5 action figures in your possession.
Oh,
in your possession.
See, I would have been able to grab them for you if I.
You ain't got to. We visual over here. We see.
We're pretty familiar. We're pretty familiar.
So I got a Generation 1 Optimus Prime.
Okay.
Still in the box, which is extra for me because my brother broke mine back in the day, and nobody ever got me a new one. And this was in my prime. This is like, I'm 10 years old and I'm the man because I'm the only guy that has Optimus Prime on the block. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I got that. I have can I do a top 5 without any of them getting jealous? I have this.
Wait, they gonna come see about you? The action figures come see?
They're all over the house, bro. I have a Black Panther. I want to say the company is called Nameco or something like that. I would have to show you, but it's downstairs, propped up somewhere. But it's like a Japanese company did the design for them. It's pretty crazy. I have a Stalker, the G.I. Joe. I got the classified, but I got I want to say he's maybe 10 inches plastic. So it's just like the original action figure, except for he's huge. I I have Tuskegee Air G.I. Joe Man.
Really?
I got a few of those.
Hold on. I ain't got that
Where
one.
does one
Not
find?
I said
Airman,
Hey, you weren't just
G.I.
gonna that
Joes.
fast. We wasn't gonna pick that one up.
I said Tuskegee Air. I meant Tuskegee Airmen. Did I say Tuskegee Air?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Tuskegee.
you did. You said that.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah.
You said
I know.
Tuskegee. You said Tuskegee. You said Tuskegee Air G.I. Joe.
Tuskegee Airmen G.I. Joe.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Where we get him from? That's 6 inches.
Nah, I can run downstairs real quick and grab one and show it to you.
Man, we trying to figure out where we can cop one from.
I think I got a couple of them on eBay, and I can't remember. I got 3 altogether.
Man, hold on. Cause see, you said eBay. Hold on, don't do that. Cause over here we like to do participation over here on this channel. We don't, hold on, Tuskegee Air G.I. Joe. Stop playing with me.
You want me to run downstairs and grab a couple of these?
Man, you might well Tuskegee Airmen G.I.
Yeah, while y'all searching, I'll be right back.
Right.
Yeah, how you gonna slide that in there like I got this right here? Like what
okay,
you not gonna do that.
You ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. Nah. Heck nah.
No, we're not doing that. I got a couple of them on eBay.
Huh.
So you don't say, and they 12 inches tall.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I'm picking up what he putting down. I sees it.
It's a bomber.
Yeah. You're not gonna say nothing. Like, boy.
Okay.
You're not gonna do this. We're not, you know what?
Okay. I'm liking that deer.
You know what my grandmother would say?
I'm liking that deer.
Colored people. You see how colored people do you? They don't say nothing.
I'm liking that deer.
Yeah. You see how we get down? If you know him, grow him, sharing his caring. We on eBay right now. 12 inches. Yeah, with the Kung Fu grip. With the Kung Fu grip.
That joint spendy.
Listen. And look here, Rock With Me Nation. Rock With Me Nation. Black Panther fan group. Council of Wakanda. Recast. It's affordable. I say it's affordable. I'm gonna say, can I say that one more time? It's affordable. Boy, look at him. Boy. That's all I can say is boy. We got an officer and a gentleman out here in these streets. We can make it do what it do. Listen, you know what I'm getting from this D-Real? What's the name of the movie with Denzel Washington? What was it? It wasn't an officer and a gentleman. What was the name of the movie? A Soldier Story.
Yeah.
I'm getting all kind of vibes looking at this right here. I ain't getting just Tuskegee Airmen vibes on this. I'm getting an officer story, damn it. I'm getting all, boy, look, see, I'm glad we did this one tonight. I'm glad my back held up.
Great mind. Great mind.
Yeah.
The spider.
Yeah. We didn't went to eBay. Yeah. You didn't talk them up. Yeah. We seeing. Yes, sir.
I have 3 of these.
Well, you know what? I think it's safe to say, gonna be quite a few purchases.
Yeah, it's dope.
That was up.
I had a question about what I was gonna do with some funds this weekend. I did, and seemed like you just answered that question.
Then I brought the other ones. So here's the
Stalker. My goodness.
Man, Mr. Burnham, thank you.
Yeah, so this Stalker, I paid a lot for, but
I saw.
Stalker was my first black action figure ever. And then
you got lucky. We wasn't so fortunate when me and D-Real was coming up. It was Lieutenant Uhura.
And then this is the Black Panther, the case, and I don't know, that ring light is.
Man, that.
Huh? Can y'all see that?
Yeah, my dog look nice. Wait, he do look nice though.
Yeah, He's pretty serious.
You paid a nice little chunk of change for that too, huh?
Yeah.
That's that family.
I can
That's that
imagine.
family. What's the company that made him?
That's a good question. Now I can look.
Is it Namaguchi?
No, I was wrong all the way. It is
Okay. Begin with a K?
Variant Play Arts.
Oh, yes.
So it was in conjunction with Marvel. Designed by Hitoshi Kondo.
Yeah, somebody asked, was that Mezco? No, that's not Mezco. I have the Mezco. I'm looking at the Mezco up here on my shelf right now. No, Mezco is way different.
Oh, I started to get that one. I did, because I got the Yamaguchi Black Panther. I did. I saw him. He comes with basically the two I don't blades or whatever. I started to get Buddy. I did.
And then I also have a Soundwave Generation 1 from Transformers, Soundwave.
Okay.
We know Soundwave is.
Well, look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. You know, it's like a Black Panther Transformer basically supposed to be coming out this September.
Yeah, and that joint box
it's $499.
Like 500.
Greg, it's nice. It's nice.
I'm gonna have to.
It's nice.
Have to make me some money.
It's nice.
I hear that.
I'm trying to think what else. I got a million Funko Pops. But I
gotta step my Funko Pop game up a little bit. I got some.
I'm gonna let
I
y'all.
got Funko Pops I had them down in my downstairs bathroom. They was like ornamentation. So I'll probably put them back up here. I know I got a Netflix Luke Cage, a Black Manta, and I forget the name. Daryl, whatever the character Will Smith played in the movie Bright.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to think what else. I got a lot of stuff, man. I got this really cool.
You're a nerd.
Do you get stuff from like comic conventions? Because I recently did a video about this line of figures coming out for Marvel Legends, and they had like a Zabu, like a Khazar Saber-Tooth Tiger. It's like the Build-A-Figure in there. But I went and did some backtracking. There was one at the San Diego Comic Convention in like 2008. I mean, it ain't as nice as this one coming out, but there has been one. And a lot of times it'd be stuff that comes out like that at conventions and stuff that don't even hit the stores. You can only get it at a comic book convention.
So I buy it. I've been trying to chill because I don't have any room for this stuff anymore.
Yeah,
same. I got like these classified figures. They just sitting over here in a stack in the corner. So, but yeah, I do most of this.
You preach it to the church on that one.
Yeah, the stuff I showed you, I didn't buy any of that at conventions, but I was buying Funko and like other stuff. We do so many conventions. In the beginning, it was like, yep, I'm getting me a trophy from everyone. Now I'm be like, man, I'm not even walking past their ass because I got this Storm. It's not an action figure though. It's a oh no, I got too much stuff sitting on top of it. But it's a statue. I got this dope Doctor Strange statue. So one of my friends, she does stuff like in comic shops and stuff out here. And we were in Seattle. She's like, dude, I won a freaking raffle. I won this Doctor Strange statue. And it's like she already knew. It's like bringing crack to a crackhead. You know what I mean? I was like, what you going to do with it? She's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even have anywhere to put it. I was like, how much money do you want? I gave her, she took the money. And I told Marcus, I was like, I'll be back. I walked right downstairs because where the convention is in Seattle, Emerald City Comic Con. We'll be there next weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got there's a FedEx in the building, and so you can go. You know, I just walked downstairs, walked in there. I was like, "Hey, man, package this up, send it to my."
That's wild.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, it be those times, man. You'll see something and you want it, and everything is right with the universe.
Well, look, if everything right with the universe, you ain't got no reason to say no. It's chopped up.
Grabbing that. Yes.
Speaking of grabbing stuff, Daryl, I did grab Power Princess today. Mr. Burnham, we talk about action figures and customizing everything. I will be using Power Princess to create Frenzy from the X-Men and everything like that. Shout out to Diana Dotto from Weapon Hex Customs. She told me that I needed to get that stature of action figure to make that happen.
I can see that. I can see that. I got it's downstairs on my work table, but I got a head sculpt from Aisha from the Ninja Power Rangers.
Okay. You talking about Karen Ashley?
Yeah,
that's the homie.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah. I was just talking with her yesterday.
Man, she need to understand. Listen, we collect Black Power Rangers, and I mean, when I say Black Power Rangers, we talking about the brothers and sisters. We got all of them.
Yeah. So Karen, Nakia, who did she play? She played the Yellow Ranger.
They both play Yellow Rangers.
Yeah. I just can't remember what Nakia's name was on the show. I wasn't watching the show at that point. But yeah, no, I love them. They're wonderful. I got to, be on some panels with Walter, who was the Black Power Ranger, the first one.
Yeah.
So we're, pretty cool too. But yeah,
Mr. Hip Hop Keto.
Yeah. But there's some awesome people, man.
It's crazy because we Power Ranger fans. We're not gonna act like that. But when you talk about the action figures and black head sculpts, unmasked black head sculpts, it's crazy because that's our go-to. We go get all the Black Power. We go get every last one of them because they come. Look, if they biracial, they biracial. Like, you can't go wrong with them. But I wish I understand what you were saying earlier. Got to. We using his head sculpt for Sync.
Oh, that was
That's Sync. Listen, there's a family over here. This how we do it. But let me see. I think I got the Squirrel Queen 2-pack right now on Hasbro Pulse. It is $24, $24.99. That is 2 action figures for the price of 1. So
okay.
Squirrel Queen. I copped that.
Okay, you scored on that one because I bought that jump for 40.
Oh, also, and I want to go ahead and say this to y'all. Big Bad Toy Store. No, they're not paying me any type of money. This is just my brothers and sisters out there. Big Bad Toy Store. They have a section where it's not just the daily deals. The daily deals are nice. But if you go to Big Bad Toy Store, there's actually another section where you keep going down and they say clearance new price sections. When I tell you, let's just go say it and say, I found the Stealth Captain America shield brand new on there for $69.99. We're gonna make it do what it do.
I'm not listening to anything y'all say. I got rent to pay. I'm not messing with y'all.
Bro, you make it difficult over here.
My lady be trying to low-key get me to get rid of some of it or put it all someplace where she can't see it.
Yeah, listen.
It's my sanctuary. Leave me alone.
Listen, I'm sitting up here looking at this. I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all got clearance? This is the clearance section. Boy, they got a nice clearance section. I'm just gonna tell y'all. They got a nice clearance section. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. They got a nice, listen, they got the whole Eternals wave for like $49.99.
So you can get that thick Fastos.
Listen, they give away stuff. I'm like, y'all, look, listen, Star Wars: The Black Series credit, Grief Karga, The
Or
Mandalorian,
as I like to refer to him,
$8.40.
Yes, Kamoyo Kid. Tanya was her name. She'll probably punch me if she sees this, but she's not a violent person. So, speaking of Kamoyo beads, did y'all get those?
Well,
I got those Kamoyo they released after the first Black Panther, the metal beads. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. I had a set, but I wore them, and I wore them too much.
Y'all got me out here like a little kid. I'm
bro.
running the house. I'm running the house. Go get mine.
They heavy. Heavy.
But that didn't bother me. Mine, because you're doing the conventions and stuff. I think mine got caught on a box and it snapped, and so I had to get like 2 more. So now I got some to wear sometimes, and then the other one.
Your money longer than mine. Your money
no,
longer
it's not.
than mine. Your money longer than mine. I can't really be doing that. I
ain't gonna say the money's longer. I just might have.
I got the original.
It's okay. You worked hard.
I just have. I'm not disciplined.
You did what you needed to do, so it could be like that. We trying to get in your area. We trying to get in your area code. So, but no, I can't. This. This.
Okay, so y'all got me. Y'all got me.
That's nice, bro. That's real nice. I ain't mad at that. I gotta get the Fire Wolf Ice Wolf.
With the hat too. The hat is the best part. Cause see, for those of you remember Shaw Brothers flicks.
You freezing up again. Bill, you gonna have to talk to the internet dude. Cause I ain't got the character. I ain't got the character to carry this part of the interview. I ain't got it.
Okay, got that.
You're kind of back.
But yeah, man. Oh my goodness. This listen, you got. I don't know what I'm gonna put these G.I. Joe Tuskegee Airman action figure. That's about $75 right there. It's about $75 right there.
How much? That's how much they were on eBay?
Well, about 25 a piece. You feel what I'm saying? A little bit of shipping and handling. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
I ain't mad at that though. That's we can make it do what we do. Ain't nothing on the bucket list right now.
Yeah, maybe the internet gods is trying to tell us something.
They might be. It is getting late, fellas. It is getting late. It is getting late. I ain't saying. I'm just saying.
Bro, we're gonna quit while we here. Greg, brother, I appreciate you pulling up and hanging out with us. This has been a privilege for me. I know, Theo is saying, how much he is enjoying, this whole exchange. Man, we got to get together and do it. Always a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. And keep doing what you're doing. And if nothing else, if you don't do nothing else, man, just keep that energy. Because that energy, I ain't gonna lie, I was struggling till you brought the energy. I'm like, my back hurting, I'm tired, and you brought the energy. I said, well, damn, let me perk up a little bit, damn it. Let me get myself together. So that's all.
No, it's been a pleasure. This is fun. It didn't even feel like work or nothing.
And he had said that every time I interview, he said, "Don't feel like," cause man, he don't strike me as nobody I need to interview so much as talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
So I feel like I can talk to you like I talk to anybody else off the streets. You know what I mean? Not off the streets, but like if we was in person, I feel like we'd be vibing the same way.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely appreciate the realness. I definitely like that. Yeah.
And I guess Dan, there's the big kaboom shout out from the Black Panther fan group.
That's the president right there. Black Panther fan group president for your kid. Let me give some shout out. We got fans collecting. We got Grand Madam Tarot here. D. Steezer is the Rock With Me Nation moderator. He makes sure people don't get beside themselves when we be doing videos on my channel. We got Gray. I would be surprised if Miss Keita isn't in here because normally that's how that would be. We got Nico.
Where there is a Gray, there is a Keita.
Yeah, exactly. We got Nico Bean with his team, the youngest lion on the team. He's in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up. Yeah, everybody was in here. Grand Madam Tara.
I can't catch up with all y'all. I'm sorry.
Fans for collecting.
Somebody, my bad.
Yeah, fans for collecting. Thank you so much for pulling up and everything. Listen, y'all kept the energy going. Y'all were asking some great questions. As Kamoyo said, man, this was great. Thank you. I just want to thank you so much for being real. You know, I really do appreciate just being genuine this evening. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank you. And that my name right there, that's my IG handle. So if any of y'all want to follow me, so you can find out, like, if you're in the Virginia area or you feel like traveling, we're putting together a pretty cool comic convention in August 17th and 18th. Our guest list is steadily growing, so we're excited about that. And also, like, if you follow me, if you need any of these books, you can message me. You can order off the website, but like some stuff I don't sell on the website, like the DC books and stuff like that. So,
okay. Hey,
I'm following. Let me make sure I got my notifications on. Post, stories, videos, reels. Let me make sure I get all live videos. Some now. Let me get all the notifications. There we go.
All right. Look here, y'all. We done. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even doing no theme music. I'm just turning it off.
Hey,
peace.
If y'all ain't been over there, click like, share,